Hi guys, welcome back to Tigre Gitana. My name is Abby, and today we're going to be doing the weekly chakra video, and this is the last week of the year, so we made it. I'm really excited to see what the reading says for this week, because I feel like a lot of people are like in those like blues type of moments where they kind of start looking back and reflecting on the past year, and they either are miserable about it or they're actually having a good year, and it's always like that. And the big tip about it is to just let go and release until the next year without any ridiculously crazy expectations, but still having a clear goal, which we're going to talk about because it is Capricorn season. So you know your girl's birthday's coming up. Anyway, so for our root chakra, what is our blockage for this week for our root chakra? What is our blockage? That is very interesting. So I have the Akashic Records open, so we is ready. Blockage, 3 of Wands and the Queen of Cups. So when I saw this, I immediately thought Venus and Virgo, so we're going to talk about that. How can we best heal our root chakra this week? Lord Jesus, how can we best heal our root chakra? How can we best heal our root chakra this week? How can we best heal? How can we best heal our root? Okay. That's interesting. Let's heal our root chakra. Okay. We have the 10 of Wands and the Page of Cups. I'm really surprised. What is our blockage for our sacral space? Hello. What is our blockage for our sacral space this week? What is our blockage for our sacral space this week? Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. So interesting. How can we best heal our sacral space? Ooh. Okay, wait, that's too many cards. Just 2. Can we best heal our sacral space this week? Can we best heal our sacral space this week? Can we best heal? 6 of Pentacles, King of Wands. Okay, solar plexus might have some opportunities this week. I mean, I haven't even gotten to it, but it just already, the wands are showing me it. But at the same time, the moon is currently in Leo as I'm filming this, so really good time to get that sorted the next 2 days. Really good time. What is blocking our solar plexus this week? What is blocking our solar plexus? So, King of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, let's heal our solar plexus this week. Whoa. Oh boy, we're gonna have a really cute conversation. Okay, what is blocking our heart chakra this week? First card out. Okay, so I see some of you are gonna be having some very interesting family drama in or throughout Christmas. I know it's Christmas Eve, but it's like this week is like, if you're hanging out with family, I can definitely see how there's some trauma that's being held there. Just blocking our heart chakra. Yep. And it's like past trauma. It's like generational trauma that's being blocked. Okay. How can we best heal? Let's heal our heart space this week. Okay. Back to the solar plexus. What is blocking our throat chakra this week? Oh, okay. Okay, so, okay, we're going to talk about that. There are some people that lost their jobs, or are losing their jobs this week, which is weird because it's Christmas season, so you would think that corporations wouldn't be shitty, but they are being shitty. How can we best heal our throat chakra this week? Best heal. How can we best heal? Ooh, how can we best heal? We're gonna talk about this Capricorn season coming on the throat chakra. Okay. Okay. What is blocking our third eye chakra this week? What's blocking our throat? Okay. What is blocking our third eye? I'm like the magician. Okay. How can we best heal our third eye this week? How can we best heal? How can we best heal our third eye this week? I just saw which one fell. I'm laughing. How can we best heal our third eye this week? Okay. Hold on. Dropping all the cards right now. So the two cards that came out are the Ace of Swords and the Empress. And then lastly, what is blocking our crown chakra this week? First card out. What's blocking? Oh. Yep, some people definitely lost their jobs, and it's really messing up their whole thing. How can they best heal? How can we best heal our crown chakra this week? How can we best heal our crown chakra? Okay. So, bottom of the deck, the Chariot and the Hangman. So coming out of this Cancer moon into some movement. Let me put this here. Okay, so what is blocking our root chakra? When I first saw this immediately was like Venus and Scorpio to me. Like there's definitely like a lot of internal work that is being had right now. I feel like for some people it's that fixed nature of a Scorpio that's kind of getting them stuck, that is not allowing them to really take some chances and move forward in certain areas. It's like emotionally blocking your movements, like kind of trying to run out of the ocean onto the ground so you can actually run somewhere. But obviously running in water, you can't run in water. It's like kind of forcing your body, like trying to move, but you can't because you're emotionally being held back. That water is holding you back. And that's kind of what this is. This is a very much a situation in which emotionally it's weighing very heavy on the spirit. It's weighing very heavy on the soul. The spirit is there's like an anchoring, and because of this anchoring, there's a lack of movement in the situation. And the way it's affecting our root chakra is because it's kind of like when you put too much water in soil and it just gets really mud. Even trying to walk out in mud, that's really what this is. This is what this is. So this is really saying that what is really blocking us is an imbalance of our elements within ourselves. So if you are a water sign, for this week, you're going to need to really balance the rest of the energy out. And by that, I mean, whether you need to do some earth magic or focus more on your body, or like literally initiate something within yourself that's going to kind of balance this energy out, where it's not just too much emotion and just that, and then just a little bit of everything else, but instead it's somewhat balancing out those waters for you. Because there's a huge imbalance, and it's just bringing too much water into the root chakra. The root chakra is not a water area, it's a very physical area. So this week would call really well to work on your body, whether like yoga or working out or whatever, working with the earth if you are a witch and you wanted to work with the element of earth, crystals. Make sure you're balanced energetically. Make sure you're doing some root chakra healing. because this week there's just too much water in the space, and the way to heal that, as the cards has said, it's the Ten of Wands with the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is not quite the Queen, it's not quite the King, it's not quite the Knight either. It's a very, very gentle, honest, authentic energy. It's a very much calmer waters, and it's almost like when it rains and a kind of like a lake just starts, or like a little pond just starts to form, but it's obviously when the sun dries, it'll get dried out and it will continue on. This is kind of what this is, and what this is saying is, even if things look really, really dark and overwhelming with emotions from what's happening everywhere else, you need to keep pushing through your situation and balancing your emotions out, because emotionally, if you are, some people, it's mentally that they, depending how much water, how much earth, how much air, fire you have in your chart, you will see certain things activated during each season. With Capricorn season, it's really making people focus on the physical, and the physical is what makes us have an emotional reaction. So a lot of this reading right here is because of tangible things, like things that you can't see, even though there's swords here, yes, but it's all, the energy is based on the reason why we're reacting in these areas with these elements in the way that we are, is because on the physical realm we are not in the place that we need to be in. So this is imbalance. So on a physical way, in order to address this healing for the root chakra, a spiritual bath would be good. Definitely need of some cleansing, some balancing out of the thoughts, like scripting. I can see also kind of working with your creativity and really allowing yourself to play with your mind, play with your emotions, with your hobbies, with things that you just love genuinely to do, would provide some healing this week to the root chakra, because there's just a lot of kind of frustration and emotional frustration, and it's kind of like trying to manifest out of frustration. It can happen, but the outcome might not be exactly what you want. So I tell you not to do it. For the sacral space, we got the Ten of Swords and the Sun, and again, we have this throughout the reading, we have this kind of situation where it's kind of like we're mentally defeated, so we're emotionally just all over the place. And in our blockage, the Sun, our happiness, our ego, this is our ego taking a shot this week, our ego in some way, shape, or form taking a shot. But this is a situation where when this happens to our ego, it is necessary, because what happens when the Sun and the Ten of Swords come together, it's that it shines a light into our darkest places, and our ego holds a lot of things. Like, it's not all good and fine and dandy. Some parts of us are not, like, some others will not understand it, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't need to understand who we are as people, what we like, what we're into, what our core is. Not everybody needs to understand that. But with the Sun now moving into Capricorn, which, by the way, happens to be the darkest time of the year, but also when the Sun happens to be the closest to the earth, there's a lot of weirdness that happens in December that I don't understand, especially during the winter, that I just don't understand, but it still occurs. Is like the Sun is closer, but then you feel like this. It's and it's one of the most depressing times of the year for people, where in the summertime everybody's, out and dandy, but in the wintertime everybody's like, it's not a hermiting like Virgo does, not quite, but it's more like it's an illumination on the material of the self, what we have, that we start being aware of what we don't have, and there's a lot of things in the physical side that like really get illuminated that don't end up really feeling good. There's a lot of things that, especially with the Sun in Capricorn, that kind of makes you want to shift some things around, and it really, it's about honesty, and it's about being honest to yourself about, because Capricorns do this all the time. We have to be realistic. This is really what it is. We have to be realistic, and we have to look at each sword and be like, okay, well, this didn't work out. This did, okay, let me refocus and let me replan and let me do this, and I'm still gonna get to that goal in this way. It's literally a reanalyzation, but instead of for those who don't have these type of Capricorn placements, who don't know how to kind of work with that, it might just be like, seem like a defeat to you. It might just be like, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't have this, why is this part of me coming up right now? Well, first of all, we talked about Venus being still being in Scorpio, so this is still going to be happening until until January, boo boo. So you might as well continue to flow with that energy, because ultimately what we're being asked to do is balance and really bring that ego a little bit down. Because yes, Capricorns, we can be very egotistical. I'll be the first to say, even though Leos are the ones that rule the ego, I'll be the first to say Capricorns can be very egotistical, but it has to do, there's a balance that comes with that. We have to know, we have to feel in our hearts that it's right. And for you to like come out of this energy and really work with your sacral space, it has to do with you not only forgiving yourself for what you did and the time that you spent, because again, the season highlights time. The time that you spent putting into whatever it is that didn't work out, into, okay, what are we going to do moving forward? Where's our time going to go moving forward? And it kind of has to be like you checking your own ego with the King of Wands in reverse. It's really about checking your own ego and really allowing the sun to illuminate those things that don't work out and being honest with yourself. This is a very karmic season, and this is why this is a very depressing season, because you're able to see Capricorn season brings the energy of karma, because of that Saturnian vibe. And so even though with Scorpio you'll have a lot of things and a lot of truths coming up because Venus is still there, Capricorns are like, okay, well, let's do something about it. I still need to live my life. I still need to, there's things that I need to do. There's still things that I need to accomplish. And that comes with like accepting certain parts of yourself, because Capricorns also know themselves very well. And it's about really accepting certain things, but also making sure that we're balanced and that we're like not overextending ourselves when we know emotionally or physically that we can't this week, and just really taking time to nurture ourselves. So for sacral space, practice self-care this week for sure. For our solar plexus, we have the King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So some people are very frustrated with how long something is it's taken to kind of move somewhere. The reason why this is happening is because for some people, depending on where your Jupiter is, it takes a little bit of time to move from one house to the other, and then it'll stay there for a while. For example, I'll put myself into an example. I have Jupiter currently in my 4th house, which is a house of home, among other things, but we'll just keep it a home to keep it simple. So next year, I know for sure that I know because I already checked my chart, but I know for sure that is moving into my 5th house, which is where Sagittarius is for me. My 4th house is in Scorpio, so it's, with Venus being in Scorpio, is highlighting a lot of family, a lot of home stuff for me. But for next year, it's going to be in my 5th house of pleasure, and I am already aware of this. So I am not doing this mental frustration of the fact that things are not moving as swiftly as, you know, we feel like they're gonna move. It's more about understanding that divine timing is happening on its own time. Leave it alone. Like, I'm not sweating it that it's taking a while to move into my 5th house, especially with all the stuff that I have to do and that I am doing next year with all the traveling I'm doing. It literally, my house of pleasure is going to be lit. Lit. And I'm not sweating it. I'm not mentally like, oh my god, no, I'm just cruising through, having Jupiter and Sag in the 4th. I'm cruising through, I'm doing the things, I'm changing stuff up. There's a lot of my home environment changing, I'm moving stuff around, I'm buying things for the house. So I'm just kind of taking it in and going with the flow. But some of you are very, very frustrated as to where it's going and how slow it's taking, and things and intentions that you've set that are not really moving the way that you kind of, the way that you wanted them to, how fast you wanted them to, like all of these things. Like, patience. Capricorn season is also about patience. We're earth signs. We move a little bit slower. So time moves a little bit slower than the other seasons do, personally speaking. So as far as your will go, just because you set an intention, don't get frustrated because it hasn't manifested yet. Not everything manifests in a day or in a second. I've done spells like last week that manifested like boom, and then there's some spells that I'm doing that just take time. There's certain things that take time, and that's okay. So don't get frustrated with the intentions, with the goals that you set for yourself, just because it didn't happen right away when you wanted it to. How best to heal it? We have the Seven of Swords and the Four of Wands. So really connect with family. Really let yourself... this card is not about the lies for this. This is really about letting yourself kind of get carried away with your mind space, and letting yourself kind of enjoy the holidays and not worry about certain things that really have been picking at you. Like all these things, all these personal issues that we've been talking about with the root and the sacral space, this is really about like saying, hey, you know, go with the flow, enjoy your life, like come together, whether as a family, collective, your friends, your whatever, hang out, relax. This is it's the last week of the season. Don't stress out, just relax. Let yourself watch a show. Because this is thoughts, this is mind. So there's something that needs to kind of take your mind away from whatever situation. Watch a show, watch, you know, binge watch something. Netflix is still alive and well. Do something that makes you like happy this week. Something that, whether it connects you with others or not, like do something that makes you feel kind of at home is what I'm getting for this. For the heart chakra. So for the family issues and the generational trauma that is sitting here, this is the blockage, the Six of Cups, Death, and the Eight of Cups. So there's some people this week that will need to, there's certain moments that will get highlighted for some people this week. Some trauma that will get highlighted for some people this week in regards to the family. And it might be something that you notice that you do, that somebody else does. It might be something that you notice that your mom does, that somebody else does, that your cousin does, or that, you know, you just start noticing a habit that happens to be very toxic. And so you'll be kind of called into healing that space and releasing that space and kind of setting the intention to not partake in continuing that habit or that trauma moving forward. So it's really about releasing and letting go of certain things that might literally for years, for centuries, have been carried on from family member to family member. And it's really about setting an intention, because like the best way to heal that, Queen of Swords and Strength, this is saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna set the intention that I'm gonna be stronger than this. I'm not gonna carry this into the next thing. I'm not gonna do it. That's not gonna be me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not the one. Like, I'm not going to carry this. I'm not going to be the next vessel of this trauma. And really being strong and setting that intention. And if the way to do it is to say that to your family members and say, you know, I'm not going to do this with my kids. I'm not going to do, like, saying it and speaking it. It's very, very powerful this week. So do the thing. Do the thing. I feel like a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of verbal healing, especially when it comes to like politics and stuff. Listen, it's been getting it's been toxic for a minute family wise because of it, but it's just about being honest. It's just about being honest. Like, hey, I'm not doing it. You can do it. I'm not doing it though. So like even my dad is a Republican, and we go at it like at least once or twice a year, because I try to stay away from the topic as much as I can, but we go at it like once or twice a year, and it's always like, yeah, I'm not doing that though. Like I always tell him, like, I don't care. No, not I. Anyway, for our throat chakra, there are some people that not only did some people get fired, whether last week going into this week, but they're kind of dealing with the repercussions of not having these two things coming at them, or a way to get from A to Z. There's some people that definitely got fired. I definitely see that. But there's also some people that are kind of afraid to take an opportunity when it comes to their work environment, like whether they just happened last week to post up a position, and you have up until, I don't know, a week to submit your work resume or whatnot. There's some people that kind of don't, even though they're very much qualified, don't want to go for it. Or there's some people that they had the opportunity to go and didn't go for it, and now are kind of dealing with the repercussions of not going for it. Or there's some people that just got plain old fired. And really, what the best way to heal this week, we have the Devil and we have the Two of Wands, and that's really about kind of rechecking yourself. Why are you in this situation? Why are you, because this is, listen, we've talked about Capricorn for a long time, so let me re-stress this, because this is also the theme of the season. Are you wasting time where you are in your job? Because this is time to revisit those things. So are you wasting time where you are in your workplace? What is the goal that you started with, and have you achieved it? These are very Capricorn questions. Get a notebook, write them down, then answer them, and then you will be very much in that energy, and then you could like shake that shit off. So are you in the place that you wanted to be? Are you in the position that you wanted to be? What else do you want to do more moving forward? Is there a different opportunity that you kind of have been getting pushed by the universe to take? Like, this is really about revisiting your goals and seeing, okay, so if I didn't get this, or if I didn't go for it, what else am I going to do? Am I just going to chill here? What are we doing? What time are we wasting? What are we doing? What are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? And this is what this is about. This is saying you need to mentally get clear on it so you can be able to manifest freely, and be able to work for something. Because when you speak it into existence, then you can start moving, physically moving in the direction that you have chosen. But because that's not what's happening, you need to revisit your intentions with this place, so you can say, okay, these are my goals, this is when I want to achieve it by, or the range of when I want to achieve it by. This is what I want to get from it. This is what this is going to teach me. Maybe I can do this for a year and then I want to switch to this, or whatever the case may be. Maybe I have stocks in the company and I want to take it and invest it somewhere else, somewhere that I'm being called to. Whatever it is, it's really about reevaluation when it comes to the throat chakra, and it's about like saying, okay, you're being blocked by your own blessings for you not being clear on them this week. And this is about solidifying, because you have not only the Taurus card in the blockage, but then you have the Capricorn card in the healing. So it's about getting clear on what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to speak to existence. This week calls a lot for a lot of reflection, and like I said, I kept saying this during Sag season. I said this last week. The first December Capricorns and December Capricorn energy is about looking at what it is that we want to do, how we're going to get there, the planning aspect. That's what December Capricorns not only do, but the energy, that's what it's about. And then once you hit January Capricorn, that's just like okay, I planned it out, let's go. Like, that's pretty much what it is, what it is, especially because the first moon that's happening at the beginning of the year on January 5th is a solar eclipse in Capricorn. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Okay, so for the third eye, we have the Magician and the Tower. And again, there's some people that really, whether you had a spell backfire, this has actually happened to my sister, which is hilarious that this is that this came out. But for some people, there is some spell work that definitely backfired. Some mental, like whether you wished bad on a spell, or whether you actually thought like, oh man, that's not gonna happen or whatever, but you did a spell to make it happen. Like you done got checked by the universe for doing that. Or some people are definitely receiving in the blockage, it's like there's an opportunity, or you had discovered a gift that you now have to kind of incorporate it, but it happens randomly, so you're kind of a little bit like, and that's one of the other possibilities that I can see happening with the Magician and the Tower, because I definitely see someone, especially because Venus is in Scorpio, it's unearthing a lot of a lot of in the unconscious mind. You have a lot of air, like a lot, everything. Okay, so because everything in the unconscious mind is so much, there's like a huge disconnect between you being able to access that area and properly use it, and the conscious mind. Because Venus is in Scorpio right now, it's giving you access to certain things that you would have not gotten had Venus not been in Scorpio for this long, and also just being in Scorpio, period. So there's some people that had to just discover some gifts about themselves that they're now incorporating. It might have to do with some divination work as well. This is Mercury, so you might have just found out that you are you can speak to dead people, or you're a medium, or you have you've gained more clairs or whatnot. There's some people that definitely discovered new things about themselves, but it came in a very like because it's Uranus so it came in a very like too quick to like whoa way, and so there's kind of like a freaking out situation. When this kind of stuff happens, this could be like you moved into a haunted house. And you just like discovered that you know, you can hear voices, or you can see, you know, apparitions and stuff. This could be something that definitely happened very quickly. So there's something this week that's gonna happen very quickly, that's gonna make you aware of something that you can do. It's something that I could definitely see. But the other thing I see for some people is that some people's minds, because you are not clear on it, because this is Uranus, so this is crown chakra. This is like Mercury's, it's not third eye. I would say the high priestess is more third eye, but Mercury is communication, so that's throat. So there's something about the mind, definitely something about the mind, that's blocking this space for some of you this week. Whether you're intentionally blocking it out, whether you don't want to know, you're one of these people that like, I don't want to know, I don't want, like one of these people, whatever it is a very much like, it's like a burying of information, but then it's like shattering right through, like whether you want to ignore it or not, it's coming out, and it's really blocking that space because you're not in the time or place to kind of properly accept it, so it just comes off really weird. I'm explaining this so weird, but that's really what it is. There's like so many possibilities for this, that I'm seeing so many people in different areas going through different things with these cards, for the third eye. And it's really about kind of taking back your power, because that's the best way to heal it. You got the Empress and you have the Ace of Wands. I'm sorry, the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is really getting clear on your own power, your personal power, your divine power, because this is a divine feminine. So this is connecting to your intuition, connecting to your abilities, connecting to your body, your ability to see all the clairs. This is really an abundance of communication when it comes to some people, and some people just need to accept their power in this space. And I'm sorry for you know, the way Uranus came out and just showed you guys what you were for those, but you know what, it was necessary, so we're gonna move on. For the crown chakra, we have the third eye and the Four of Cups, and we did talk about this throughout the reading, because there's some people that are in a very not cool work situation. Some people definitely got fired. I can definitely see that. Some people are like kind of having to revisit what they're gonna do job wise moving forward, and it's kind of because this is affecting the root chakra in this way, and is also overwhelmingly the emotions. These cups are filled with things like the way you wanted it, and because you didn't get it the way that you wanted it, it's like it's shot. Our crown chakra is blocked, so we have a lack of connection. This is why the third eye got affected this way. Uranus had to come, because Uranus rules our superconscious minds, which is the crown chakra, and so Uranus had to come this way and show you like, hey bitch, you're fucking powerful. Not to curse, but like it was really like that. It's like, hey, you're a fucking powerful ass person, get it the fuck together. Like, I'm gonna show you. You want to block this because you want to focus too much on the physical. I'm gonna show you. And even though the season is very much about the physical, once we pass Capricorn season, it goes from root to crown, because Aquarius rules that crown space. So it's really about having these two things, these points connected. You know how when you there's some meditations that you'll go in And the first thing they'll say, like if you go on a guided meditation or whatever, the first thing they'll say is, okay, picture a cord connecting to the center of the earth, and then picture a cord going up through your crown. Those 2 points, what are those 2 points? Root chakra, crown chakra. Everything else flows between those 2 points. So this energy, this like root chakra energy, and then you have crown chakra energy, is very much present during Capricorn season, because it's like, hey, you know, we're trying to get the physical together, so by the time you get to the crown space, that season for the crown space, you're able to have some fluidity here. So just make sure that you're kind of not, again, it's about the emotions. You're not getting trapped in it. That fixed Scorpio Venus energy, you need to break out of, like, allow yourself to still go through the healing and the rebirth process for those spaces. Best way to heal that this week, the crown, we have the 7 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So again, revisiting opportunities, the seeds that we've planted. We've talked about this here. We talked about this in the root chakra. It's about revisiting. Again, last week of January is about really looking at where, like, what we're doing, where we're at, what, and what, so that when January comes, we're like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what, like, my plan for this, blah, 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 and then you have some sort of direction. You'll still be able to go with the flow, but you'll still have some goals and things that you want to achieve for the year, and that's really important. So let's pull an oracle card for my people in the back. And we're going to do the Enchanted Map Oracle, because why not? Why not? This deck always has, I cut the deck and it's the mountain. That's like the most Capricorn card. That or time, whatever. But, yes, be mindful of your emotional space this week. Moon is currently in Leo, then it's going to move into Virgo. Great time to do, Leo moon, great time to do ego work. Virgo moon, great time for healing, mental healing, spiritual baths. Then we have a Libra moon, great time to really balance yourself out and go into the next year like, let's go. Like, you know, new year, new me, kind of, or better me, you know? Okay, card. Okay, so we got 2 cards that jumped out, actually. So we have Spirit of Place, and then we have Stormfields. Okay, let's see, 4. Okay. Woo! Authenticity is the essence of power. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it, just as we have a soul. The plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the spirit of place arrives to your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlines your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. The greatest power is your authenticity. Okay. Listen, I'm just here to read the cards. Okay, Stormfields. These 2 shall pass is also card number 9. So, oh yeah. That's that Scorpio energy. Okay, this too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you have... Well, let me just put these things for her. Things that you have left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break. For these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stir things up and creates a temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather than they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling the seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever it is that's being stored up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. So, that was this week's reading. I will see you guys in the next video. There's a couple videos coming up this week, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.